Hello, my friends. I welcome you to another edition of Mentoring Masterclass with me, Bola Adewara. Today, we want to look at this very important topic that affects our children. We call it after graduation, what next? The truth of the matter is that many of our children in the universities, in the polytechnics, or let me say in the tertiary institution, they haven't gotten that real taste of what happens outside the campuses that they are in. But it's good to draw their attention to the realities after campus immediately they come out of the campus. And perhaps it's very important to show them some of these things very quickly before they go ahead into their life, so that those things we parents were not taught, or things that we realize so late in life, we will show it to them so early in their lives. I welcome you to this mentoring masterclass. And like I put forth in the advert, that invite your children to listen to this program, or after the program has been put on YouTube or wherever, you can also show it to them. You can send it to them. I will send the links to you. If you need the links, let me know. I will send the links to you and you can send it to them, so that many of them can learn some truth about life very quickly. And therefore, let me welcome the children, or our children, to this program. After graduation, what next? Some of the facts I want to show them today, they are under these topics. One, when you graduate from the university or from the tertiary institution, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself the critical questions. 2, discover your purpose. 3, your parents have done their bit on you. 4, understand the realities outside the campus. 5, start working for your old age. 6, your certificate may not be relevant to your life. 7, open up to your parents or to your guardian. And number 8, get a mentor. I have a friend with me today who will be discussing these issues with me. He has seen the in and out of life. He's a father. He has seen a lot of things about life. I have invited him here today to discuss this topic with me. After graduation, what next? We call him the love coach, but he's a coach about the human life. He will be discussing these issues with me so that the children, your children, my children, can learn some realities about life. His name is Isaac Diji. He is a pastor. He is an author of many books. He has seen these issues, and therefore I believe you have so much to learn from him. My guy, I welcome you.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
bringing me in.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are a father of 3.
Yeah.
All your children graduated.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I think we need to give thanks to God about that. I want us to look at this issue. After graduation, what next? Now, let's look at the children these days. When your children graduated from the school, you were there. I'm sure you discussed a lot of things with them. But today, I set up this topic. Ask yourself critical questions. Now, when a son or a daughter graduates from the university, what are the questions these children should ask themselves?
All right. I think first and foremost, graduating from university, you should know the meaning of being a graduate. What does it mean to be a graduate? A lot of people are graduated, they don't know they are graduated. Are you hearing me? Yeah. So, who is a graduate? Who is a graduate? It first of all means that you have been measured and packaged to be able to deliver in the world out there. It means you are not just anybody, you are somebody who has been tested, measured, and packaged to deliver in the world out there. And so you are equipped, as it were, to be able to perform. You know, there's something we talk about, singlehood, something being single. When you're single, it means that you are graduated enough to perform what your assignment is. So the first thing to do, or the first thing to know, or to ask yourself is, what does it mean to be a graduate? Who am I now that I'm a graduate? What does it mean? When you find that answer, you can now be in a better position to know what to do. Are you hearing me? A lot of us left home at 17, at 16, 18, 21. Some of us were already out there by ourselves, you know. And so when you're a graduate, you must understand first and foremost that you are ready to go into that world and conquer it. That's the place to start.
One of the things I put here in one of my writing is that ask yourself critical questions.
Yeah.
Ask yourself the critical questions. Have you have gone through the tertiary institution?
Yes.
What has the tertiary institution left in you? From primary to university, you have gone through so many schools there. It is not the certificate you obtain that matters.
Yes.
Can people see the certificate in you? Education is not about entering classroom. Education is what are the deposits of the classrooms in you. What do you think you can do on your own? If you are out of the university with the mentality of government must give me job, you have missed it. What skills have you acquired? What can you do now on your own? What ideas have you? Life, you told me this yesterday, that life gives you two transportation, to the future and to the past. Imagination is about transporting. You say imagination is about transport that takes you to the future.
Yeah.
Whereas memories is a kind of conveyor belt that takes you to the past. How imaginative are you? What can you see? What can you see in that very future? You know, looking at this, talking about the imagination, looking at it and then the memories. Yeah. How does this affect the average graduate in Nigeria?
Well, first and foremost, the school system does not teach you daily living 101, how to live on a daily basis all by yourself, you know. And so sometimes you're confused. You're thinking about jobs and you're thinking about who will give a job. I don't have a job, and then you're hopeless. But you must understand that you need to learn about living. So we were talking yesterday. I was letting you know that there are two powerful elements that we all possess, and that is the memory and your imagination. The memory talks about the past. The school system talks about the past. It talks about memory. It teaches you how to memorize and be able to answer questions about things that have happened. But they do not put you in a position where you can imagine the future and be able to create. So most times creativity is lacking. But you need to be able to, out of your, desert situation, you need to be able to create something out of your life. And that's where imagination becomes very key, you know. And so every young graduate must begin to imagine, what am I doing with my life? How's it going to be in 2 years' time? How's it going to be in 5 years' time? How's it going to be in 10 years' time? When am I going to be ready to do this and have a plan?
Another important thing we keep telling the young graduate is discover your purpose. Now, let's look at it. What is purpose?
Exactly. Purpose is the original intent of a thing. The original intent of a thing in the mind of the creator. If you are creating something, you have a purpose for doing it. If you're manufacturing this camera, for instance, it has a purpose. You're manufacturing, you are writing a book, it has a purpose. And so the issue with our lives is most of us do not know the reason why we are living.
Why we are here.
Why we are here. Are you hearing me? Yeah. And so that is the very first step to discovering your destiny, to discovering your life. Some people are not biology champions, but they want to read biology. Some people are historians by their nature, but they read chemistry and physics. How do you think they will progress?
So the graduate must discover why he is
A lot of people went to school because their mates were going. A lot of people went to school to become doctors because their father was a doctor and they wanted them to be doctors.
Meanwhile, they are destined
they are not destined to be doctors. And so they wake up every day frustrated with the work they do, or the things they do, or the things they are forced to think about. But life should flow naturally. When you're doing what you're called to do, you flow naturally.
Michael Jordan said something.
Yes.
That he said a basketballer.
Yes.
He said, I am being paid
for what I would have done for free.
For what I would have done for free.
Exactly.
Please talk about this. Discuss this issue with our new graduates.
Now, when you are in your field of assignment, energy comes to you naturally. You are energized to do what you're called to do. And so you will love it. You can do it for free. You can do it for money. So somebody said, if all the jobs paid the same salary, what job would you be doing with your life? If all the things you have to do paid the same salary, if money was not an issue. Some of us went to work in the banks because we just thought about money. I'm supposed to be a teacher, but I'm working in the bank because of money. And that's the mistake a lot of young people are still making. You leave your area of calling, you leave your area of assignment, and begin to do that which you're not cut out to do. Are you hearing me? And this is important for the young graduate to understand, am I equipped to do what I'm doing?
Tell me, what are the things that a graduate should look for to discover his purpose in life?
First and foremost, like I was telling you yesterday, you can come and use an acronym they call SHAPE to have a shaped life. SHAPED.
Shaped.
Yes. First and foremost, your spiritual gifts are important.
That's S.
That's S.
Okay.
Your spiritual gifts are important. What are you gifted to do naturally? Spiritually, what are you gifted? What are your gifts? When you walk in that line, you will never miss it. Number two, what are your heart desires? What grieves your heart? What do you desire to achieve with your life? When you look at your heart, what grieves your heart that you want to correct?
That's H. That's A.
A is abilities. What abilities do you have that you can work with naturally? Are you working an area of your life where you don't have abilities to do? You are not a good writer, you can't imagine. You are not a sculptor, you can't imagine. Then you are there. You will just see blindness, darkness all over the place. Why? Because you cannot see. When you have natural abilities, you can see things, you can do things.
That is A.
Now, you hear me? And so that is very important. When you look at yourself, what are you able to perceive naturally and do naturally? You can see it, you can see the answer, you can see the solution. If you were born to be an engineer, for instance, you don't need to look at the car. Hearing the sound of the car tells you what the problem is. It's natural. That's your ability. The next one is P, which is passion. Passion is power. Passion is your power. If you don't have passion, you become impotent. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
If you don't have passion, you become impotent. And so a lot of people are walking around, impotent people, powerless people, because they have not discovered their passion. Whatever you do for a living, whatever you do with your life, you must be passionate about it. Example is a man of God who says, I'm rounding up now, but he keeps talking. He keeps talking because that is his passion. E is your experience or your close share with the enemy. In what area has the enemy tormented you? Life torments you because of what you are carrying. If you can look properly in the area where life has come against you, it is an evidence that it's because you're carrying something. If you are walking through the night and you are like a drunk man, nobody looks at you. But if you are carrying iPhone X and you are carrying all manner of gold and you're walking through the streets in the night, you will be attacked. So in what area has life attacked you? That will show you, that will point to area where your life should be discovered or what you're born to do.
Then D.
D is the one that a lot of young people don't want to hear, death. When you die, what will you be remembered for? What will be written at your epitaph? What would you be remembered for? When people are crying around your gravesites, What are they going to be talking about you? What are they going to say? Are they going to say he's a great doctor, he's a great lawyer, he's a great artist, he's a great musician? Now, when it comes to what you are born to do, it settles in your heart that you are satisfied.
That's wonderful, wonderful. I can imagine someone like William Shakespeare,
Yes.
a great writer,
Exactly.
a great playwright.
Exactly.
You see things like that there.
Exactly.
Or you look at Obafemi Awolowo, a great politician, a great leader. You look at so many of them like that too. I remember, must have a passion, something.
Yes, that they are satisfied. If people remember them for, you have to be remembered for something.
I remember when I was a member of a church here in Lagos, the pastor then, my pastor that I mentioned with very fondness of mine there, Pastor Wale Adefuye, that was around 1999.
Yeah.
He said something that they said that one of the things you need to write down is your epitaph. Write down your epitaph and start walking around it. And I remember I wrote something that day that here lies a great writer, a wonderful journalist who lived that ignorance may be banished for life.
Exactly.
I have lived my life as a journalist ever since then.
Exactly.
Because that is my passion and that is what I want anybody to write on my epitaph.
Exactly. And if you want to cap it up, you know, with all of those, for the sake of those who are Christians and all of that, Jesus said to the woman at the well, if you knew the gift of God, you will ask him to give you the living water. What is your gift?
What is your gift?
If you're sending your children to school, to university, you don't give them primary school books, you give them university books.
University books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're sending somebody to be a mechanic, you don't give him a lab coat for doctors. He's going to be a mechanic. You buy tools. And so in your life as a graduate, what are the things in your hand that God has gifted you?
Another important thing I want to tell the young graduate, the fresh graduate, is get a mentor.
Exactly.
Can we talk about that?
Exactly. Now, if you want to skip the hurdles, are you hearing me? If you don't want to fight with all of the hurdles of life, if you want to take a leap with your life, you get a mentor. You get somebody who has been where you want to go.
Someone said it. He said the shortest cut. I mean the shortcut between success. I mean, between where you are and where you are going is getting a mentor.
Of course, the mentor has already been there. He knows where you're coming from. He knows where you're going. Therefore, it's easy to advise you to skip some hurdles. Are you hearing me? So this is important. This is very, very important. If you don't want to struggle with all of your life, look at all the people who have gone ahead of you, and then pick one of them to teach you how to go. It's as simple as that.
One of the things I did, one of the reasons why I did this book called Discover the Secrets of Mentoring. Discover the Secret of Mentoring. Because I believe that people like us, people like you and I, we were not mentored. I mean, we wake up one morning and we find that our parents, what we went through,
the old folks were not mentored.
They were not mentored. We were not mentored.
Most African leaders were not mentored.
We were not mentored there. All we experienced was parenting and not mentoring.
Exactly.
I speak to you, my son, my daughter, the fresh graduate. The shortest cut to where you are going in life is mentoring. Look out, decide. Once you have decided that this is what I want to do with my life, once you have decided on your purpose, I enjoy you to start very early. And one of the virtues of starting very early is to look out for someone who has achieved that very thing
you want to
achieve.
Yes.
You want to be a kind of a senior advocate in Nigeria. You want to be a big lecturer in Nigeria or a playwright in Nigeria. You want to be an artist. You want to be a good writer. You need to apprentice yourself to someone who has achieved that very thing.
Exactly.
Now, it will take you so many energy, so many strength, so many burnings of candles, weeping, gnashing of teeth. If you want to start from the grassroots, if you want to start from the beginning, say, look, okay, I want to start doing things on my own. I want to start this thing without learning it from people. It could be in your church. How do you get a mentor? It could be in your church. Look out. Keep your eyes.
Exactly.
Open your eyes and keep your
Exactly.
ears on the floor. Look for people around you who has been here, who has done this before. You want to be a fashion designer. You don't just need to start looking for all these sort of things there. Look for a very good fashion house around you and go there.
Yes.
Tell the lady, once the lady even find out that you are a graduate, it becomes so easy for you. You want to be an advertiser. You want to be a very good designer. Look for someone who has been there and apprentice yourself to him there. I am still going to speak on this issue of how to find a good mentor and your duties as a protege to your mentor. You need to do this.
Yeah.
I believe that the mentoring thing, I mean, I've seen it. It's not a thing common in this part of the world. But we have been telling the people there, and I believe that in the university also, there is no course called mentoring. They are not doing anything like that in many of these universities.
I think you should start a mentoring movement.
We need to start a mentoring movement so that people can learn, and this is the shortest cut for them to get to where they want to go to.
You don't have to grow too old before you succeed.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. Of course, you need your experience.
Exactly.
But you don't need to suffer unnecessarily before you can get to where you are going to.
Exactly.
Another important thing we want the young graduates to know, the fresh graduate to know, is that immediately you have completed your education. Of course, education is not completed when you come out of university. Education is a continuous thing.
Yes.
But then start working towards your old age. Diji, no one told us this when we were young.
That's what we talk about mentoring.
That's what we call about mentoring. We talk about mentoring.
Because if you start planning it now, you can retire early.
Exactly. Now let me read something out to you when I say start working towards your old age. One of the things many people of my generations were not told early in life was preparing for their old ages. Yes, we heard that we will die, and we saw people dying daily, but we thought life will not end. We went on with life as if there is no tomorrow.
Yes.
Those who succeeded in building houses were lucky to have been woken up by people who nudged them out of their slumber. Many were not so lucky. My fresh graduate, do not eat with your 10 fingers. As early as possible, seek to build your own house, especially in this part of the world. In this part of the world, a country called Nigeria. Seek to build your own house. Seek to have savings and investment. Set a retiring age for yourself. If you have discovered your purpose, start working it early. Don't allow anything to shift you from your focus once you are convinced that what you want to do with your life is the right thing. Start early so you can retire early. Seek God and know Him early. Get married early. Now, many people will look at that get married early, you don't really know the value of that. You don't really know the virtues in things like this. Some of us, we're still having children up to our age 40s. No, it is not right. I have seen people who got married at age 25, men, because they started very early. And before they were 32, they have finished about having children. Then the rest is planning their lives. By age 45, they have retired. And they have time to enjoy themselves with their life.
Trimester.
Life is a trimester. Tell me about that.
Life is in trimester. Life is about 3 parts. So the first part is you, about bringing up yourself. And then when you hit, it's about 3 parts. And let's say you have 75 years. Yes. The first 25 years is about you. And the second 25 years is about us. So you should be getting married at age 25. Are you hearing me? Then the last trimester is about them, your kids and the next generation. And so when you are able to plan like that, it's easier for you to accomplish much. You see, when you start early, you can retire early. Exactly.
You know, one of the most important things I want to tell you, my fresh graduate, is seek God early. Know God early.
Exactly.
No one told us these things when we were young, and therefore we are telling you now so that those things will not be lost on you. Before you take decisions on what you want to do with your life, consult your father if you respect him enough, if you respect his thoughts. Another person you need to consult is your pastor, if you respect your pastor enough. And the third person is your mentor. When you are married, consult your wife also. The decisions affect the two of you. I want to look at another thing that is very important for you to understand immediately you are outside the campus. And that is, now that you are outside the campus, know the reality of life outside the campus. I am sure many of you, you will hear your daddy telling you that time that, it's not easy. Oh, no, there is no money. Now you are outside the campus. You will understand what your daddy or what your parents were talking about that time. Age 17, many of you are above age 17. Legally, that is the age of maturity. If you mess up with the law, you are no longer a baby. The law will come down on you with its full weight. Don't think you are in the university and they will say, no, he's a university student. After the university, from age 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe you're after 20 there, the law regards you as a man. And let me tell you the reality of life in some parts of the world. At age 17, they 18. Are outside their father's home.
18, you're out.
18, they are out. They've already married. Many of them, they've already gotten their own home. They might not be married, but they've already gotten their own homes. They are driving their cars. But the problem we have in this part of the world is that we have very stupid people in government now. All over Nigeria. I mean, it's been all over. We have stupid people leading us in Africa. And that is why many of you just think that at age 24, 25, 26, 27, you can still be in your father's houses. No, in different parts of the world, at 21, 22, 23, 24, they have gone. Many of them have become millionaires. Wake up, my fresh graduates. Many of you sent letters to me to speak on this matter. And therefore, I want you to wake up. Remember that you are competing not with the guy next door. You are competing with the people in America. You are competing with people in Japan, in Korea, in different parts of the world. In China, they have stopped depending on their parents. If their day-to-day life, the difference between you and the graduate in those countries is the bad leadership we are having here. Wake up, my son. Wake up, my daughter. It will be well with you. It will be well with you. I speak to you to look at the realities of life. Watch out. Don't be crestfallen. Don't be afraid. Don't think life will not treat you well. Go ahead and do it. As we are recording, you can imagine power failure. But in your own time, it will be well with you. I pray the power of the Lord will go with you in your decisions as you are going on with your life. Don't be afraid, my daughter. I warn you, don't be afraid. Things will work out for you. Like if you follow these steps, discover your future, discover your purpose, consult people, have a mentor, seek God, you are doing well. I thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The Lord be with you.
You
We will still come back and talk on discovering your purpose.
Yes.
In detail.
Yes.
Discovering your purpose.
I've written a book about discovery of purpose.
I remember you did a book on it, on discovering purpose.
And so we'll talk about it step by step so that you don't miss it.
Okay, exactly. Thank you so much. I believe you have enjoyed this period. The Lord be with you. Thank you.